Next, we'll discuss regarding hyperthyroidism. So previously we have discussed about hypothyroidism. So now, what is hyperthyroidism? Hyperthyroidism is most often diagnosed in women, especially women between ages 20 to 40 years. Uh, so hyperthyroidism means what? There is oversecretion of thyroid hormone. It is a highly preventable endocrine disorder. It is a state in which the body is producing too much thyroid hormone. So what are the etiology and risk factors? Hyperthyroidism may be due to overfunctioning of the entire gland or less commonly to single or multiple functioning adenomas of thyroid cancer. The most common form of hyperthyroidism is Graves' disease. Graves' disease is an autoimmune disorder mediated by immunoglobulin G antibody that binds to and activates
So the etiological
TSH
factors are
receptors on the
ectopic thyroid
surface
disease,
of
Graves'
thyroid
disease,
cells. Multinodular disease, thyroid adenoma, subacute thyroiditis, ingestion of thyroid hormones, pituitary disease, ingestion of food containing thyroid hormone, high dietary iodine intake or very low dietary intake, and genetic factors. Possible symptoms of hyperthyroidism can include difficulty in sleeping, that is, insomnia, anxiety, irritability, panic attacks, unexplained weight loss despite having a good appetite, fast heart rate, that is, tachycardia or palpitations, sensitivity to hot temperatures, increased bowel movements or diarrhea, tremors, excessive sweating, or warm skin. So it is totally opposite to hypothyroidism. Moods may be cyclic, mild euphoria to extreme hyperactivity to delirium. Certain symptoms and physical changes can be seen in both hypothyroid and hyperthyroid disorders. Fatigue, fine thinning hair, menstrual cycle irregularities, muscle weakness or aches, myalgia, and different forms of myxedema. Changes in vision, photophobia or light sensitivity, eye irritation with excess staring, diplopia or double vision, exophthalmos or forward protrusion of the eyeball, then fatigue and muscle weakness, thyroid enlargement, pretibial myxedema, fluid buildup in the tissues about the shin bone may be seen with Graves' disease. So pathophysiology, let's discuss. Loss of normal regulatory control of thyroid hormone secretion. That leads to excessive thyroid hormone secretion. Due to that, altered secretion and metabolism of hypothalamic pituitary and gonadal hormone, increased sympathetic nervous system activity, increased number of beta adrenergic receptor, tachycardia, increased cardiac output, hypermetabolism, negative
what
nitrogen
are the
balance,
investigations or
then lipid
diagnostic tests
depletion
done?
and weight loss.
First, history collection and physical examination, then ophthalmic examination, then ECG that shows atrial tachycardia, thyroid function test, T3 and T4 analysis, thyroid releasing hormone stimulation test, radioactive iodine uptake RAIU, and thyroid scanning. All these investigative procedures are done to evaluate hyperthyroidism. Medical management. The major medications used to control hyperthyroidism include potassium iodide, propylthiouracil, methimazole, adrenergic blocking agents, Antithyroid
calcium and
medications.
vitamin
These
D,
medications gradually
radioactive
reduce
iodine
symptoms
therapy.
of hyperthyroidism by preventing your thyroid gland from producing excessive amount of hormones. They include already discussed that propylthiouracil that is under antithyroid medication. propylthiouracil and methimazole. These two drugs are examples of antithyroid medication. Symptoms usually begin to improve in 6 to 12 weeks, but treatment with antithyroid medications typically continues at least a year and often longer. Beta blockers. These drugs are commonly used to treat high blood pressure. They won't reduce your thyroid levels, but they can reduce a rapid heart rate and help prevent palpitations. Side effects are include fatigue, headache, stomach upset, constipation, diarrhea, or dizziness may occur. Surgical management, thyroidectomy. Total thyroidectomy. It is performed to remove thyroid cancer. Clients who undergo these operations must take thyroid hormones permanently for lifetime. Subtotal thyroidectomy. It is performed to correct hyperthyroidism and extreme cases of simple goiter. Complications. Client after thyroidectomy is at risk for thyroid storm, tetany, respiratory obstructions, laryngeal edema, vocal cord injury. Nursing management. First is data collection and assessment. Monitor the client closely, assess vital signs and lung sounds, assess level of anxiety and ability to cope with symptoms, monitor weight, bowel function, and ability to sleep, assess eyes for exophthalmos, note degree of muscle weakness. Nursing diagnosis. Hyperthermia related to hypermetabolic state. It is monitor. For that, we should monitor temperature, administer acetaminophen as ordered to reduce temperature, apply cooling blanket as ordered, offer fluids to replace fluid loss through diaphoresis. Diarrhea related to increase in peristalsis. Provide a low fiber diet. Provide small frequent meals of plant foods. Monitor electrolytes, especially sodium and potassium. Monitor for dehydration. Imbalanced nutrition less than body requirements related to increased metabolism. Monitor weight weekly. Consult dietitian for high caloric diet and supplement. Risk for injury related to hypermetabolic state and bone and eye involvement. Report changes in vital signs to RN and physicians. Encourage all patients with grave disease to quit smoking as it is a risk factor for exophthalmos. Administer lubricating saline eye drops as ordered to protect drying. Advise use of dark glasses to protect from light and injury. Gently shut the eyes by using non-allergic tape for sleeping. Elevate the head of the bed to reduce periorbital edema and provide low sodium diet. Protect from injury and falls. Nursing management of the surgical client assessment. Monitor for postoperative complications. Monitor and treat hypocalcemia. Monitor the client for Zwostek's and Trousseau's sign. Clients develop numbness and tingling sensation around the mouth, fingertips or toes, muscle spasm or twitching. Postoperative management, nursing diagnosis, risk for ineffective airway clearance related to potential respiratory obstruction due to hemorrhage, edema of glottis. Interventions are like continuously assess for manifestations of airway obstruction such as restlessness, tachycardia, stridor, retraction, etc. Cough and deep breathe every hourly. Suction mouth and trachea if necessary. Use semi-Fowler's position. Give continuous mist inhalation. Administer oxygen as ordered. Acute pain related to actual postoperative tissue damage. Assess pain and respiratory status every 1 to 2 hours or as needed. Administer pain medications as ordered but do not overstate use opioids. Use semi-Fowler's position. Support head and neck with pillows. Risk for injury related to thyroid storm, tetany, hypocalcemia. Check vital signs often. Observe for bleeding at front, side and back of the neck. Assess client for hypocalcemia and monitor calcium, magnesium and phosphate level. Carefully assess for thyroid storm,
We should
elevated
educate the
temperature,
patient with
extreme
hyperthyroid
restlessness, agitation,
regarding the
tachycardia.
dietary modifications.
So, what are the foods the patient can take? So, first of all, antioxidant rich foods, anti inflammatory foods, good fats, healthy protein foods, anti inflammatory herbs and spices, calcium rich foods, magnesium rich foods, selenium rich foods, and vitamin D rich foods. And which foods the patient should avoid, like gluten, iodine rich foods, trans fats, sugar and high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, artificial and processed foods, caffeine, hormones, pesticides, genetically modified foods, etc. So with this, I came to the conclusion of this today's topic. Hope you guys have understood what is hyperthyroidism, what are the causes, what are the risk factors, the signs and symptoms, how to manage hyperthyroidism patient. So thank you everyone. Bye bye.